talk about this whole thing with what I read a while ago, and it appears that CM Punk and WWE are in talks. Now, I think that's just a rumor, I'm not quite sure, but that's the thing that's going around now. And it's funny because I look at CM Punk and his first run in WWE, and it kind of makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, both parties are at fault. If you look at the fact that CM Punk had issues with wanting control, and you have the whole thing where tearing up scripts and doing all that crazy shit that he does, and it was kind of like, alright, I kind of get it. And then it is what it is. Now, on the other hand, WWE, Vince McMahon especially, had his issues and apparently regretted firing Phil Brooks on his wedding day, which that better have been sincere. So you have that. You talk about the shitty MMA career that Punk had, and in my opinion, you have that series that he had on the Fight Network, the documentary, and in my opinion, that was a good thing. I was really looking forward to seeing what was going to happen. Unfortunately, it turned out to be the shits. It really did. It was bad. So that was kind of a surprise when I heard that. And so that happened with MMA. Comes back last August, and I thought, okay, well, CM Punk is back in the professional wrestling world. Fantastic. And that's the thing. We were all looking forward to it. He shows up, he has some really good matches, an epic one with MJF, in my opinion. And yeah, so then you have that. What happens next? Well, recently, after All Out, the whole thing with the juvenile bullshit that happened. A lot of these, and I made a video about it, so I won't repeat myself, but there's also talks that Santana and Ortiz are no longer on speaking terms. So there's some more juvenile bullshit. I mean, the thing is that you bring CM Punk back, he's already said what he said. He's a fucking hypocrite, thinking about how Kevin Nash, him saying that Kevin Nash was broken down and whatever, and yet he's the one that left in his early 40s. So I don't know, just kind of, it makes me sick to my fucking stomach. I was a fan of Punk. I really was a fan of his, and it's kind of funny how that happens. A lot of my favorite wrestlers end up with issues like that. I mean, Randy Savage in '95, when he went to WCW because of his own reasons, or Steve Austin leaving WWE, taking his ball, going home, so to speak. Now, he owns up to it, so I mean, obviously he fucking matured. He retired at the same age I am, so it is what it is. Bret Hart had his issues with WWE. He ended up going to WCW. So, in my opinion, that's kind of an interesting move. Like, Vince is gone, Triple H is in office, but in my opinion, I think that Phil and Paul had some issues. Whether it was kayfabe or not, who knows. CM Punk leaving AEW just to come back to WWE, I don't like it. I don't think it's the right move. But if it beats making direct-to-video DVDs or whatever, fine. You know, he still has that passion for wrestling, which I do appreciate, but at the same time. And now, here's another thing, too. You have Chris Jericho, who fucking makes a tweet, summed it up perfectly. CM Punk had all the tools, you know, had his thing with WWE, had a falling out, and then went to AEW, and it was fine for when it started, but then he went his big mouth, and now he's up shit's creek without a paddle. In my opinion, that's the truth. It's very sad. The guy's old enough to know better. I mean, look, this is a guy like Chris Jericho that came from WCW that is saying this, so he knows. And I know that CM Punk was Grand Slam champion, and also Jon Moxley, who basically went from WWE to AEW. Yes, he had some issues as well, but the only difference is that Jon Moxley hasn't said shit about WWE. He doesn't run his mouth like Phil Brooks, which is a fucking shame. You know, more juvenile bullshit. It sucks. So we'll see what happens. I honestly don't see a CM Punk return. You know, I know that AJ Lee or April Mendez, whichever, is on WoW, and you know what? Good for her. I think that's amazing. But yeah, I don't see CM Punk ever returning. If that happens, it'll be a fucking miracle. But if it ever does happen, we'll see how long he can keep his mouth shut. And you know, that's what they have to say. They have to go, hey, you know what? These are the rules. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. And, you know, that's all there is to it. Will it be good in Triple H's WWE? Who knows? Anyways, talk to you later. Bye.
You know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. But, you know, I think that there's this myth out there that Jamie Keller that's why he took pleasure in cutting WCW. I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you look at some of his earlier interviews, like